When did we stop looking for the simple beauty in things? In the dull and boring moments, it makes the perfect environment to find something so beautiful, so gorgeous and amazing. That's why I fear that social media and these distractions that we feed ourselves with our black mirrors, our rectangle boxes of unimaginable information, we've lost the sense of what it means to be human. I wish I could go back in time to where we didn't have all this, and when you were bored, you were forced to create, you were forced to search for beauty in the earth around us, in the people around you, not through some mediator that is our phones, but through the real thing. I was walking through a park like I usually do, and I went off the trail a bit in a field, and I just was looking around. And I found this little flower, you can see. And it was in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was just all this grass area, and nothing stood out about it. It was pretty boring, you know. I wasn't hoping to find this. I didn't know what I was looking for. I just stumbled across it. And it's beautiful. Now, I was in a boring moment, and I found something of beauty because I was simply walking. I was simply being still. I wasn't worried about everything I have to do later and tomorrow. You know, there was these 3 girls that were walking up behind me on the trail. They probably thought I was crazy, being off in the field, looking down at the ground for stuff. But you can't be afraid to stand out either. I mean, this little guy wasn't. He just grew where he was planted, and he did his best, and he wanted someone to admire him. Sort of like us, we want other people to admire us. And social media tells it's because of the fame and the power and the glory and the money and the attention and the girls and all this stuff. But we just want to be known. We want to be seen for who we are and not having to put on a mask. I mean, this little flower didn't do anything special. He just grew where he was planted. He didn't try anything too hard. He's pretty broken, actually. He got some bites in him, and then he's tearing apart. But he's still beautiful, and he's not changing how he is. And it was just simple. It was simply beautiful. And I think we ought to be more like this little flower. Be still. Be quiet. And shine where we can. Not looking for the attention of other people. Because a lot of the other people around us are pretty gross, but are pretty boring. But we can stand out like how this flower did. You know, we can stand out with how we treat other people, with how we act. Do we have a calming presence? Do we have an upsetting presence? Are we always worried about things? Is the attention always on us and never on other people? Getting to know them, asking them questions. You know, true beauty shines when it isn't forced. It just happens. Because it comes from who you are. He's just a flower, and he's beautiful. and you can just be you and be beautiful. That sounds pretty cringy right there. But what I mean is just in a world of putting on masks and trying to be someone who you aren't and trying to live up to aesthetics and personalities, be you. It doesn't mean don't seek change in your life and seek goodness, betterment of yourself. But it does mean going with the flow, letting things happen, taking opportunities and advancing. Not for the sake of getting better than other people or looking a certain way, but letting who you are shine. And obviously it starts with within. You know, he started with just, do flowers have DNA? I don't know how that works. He started with like DNA, and he just grew to what was within him. He used the resources at hand, the sun, which isn't out, the water, the soil, the oxygen, and he became a beautiful flower for everyone around him to admire. And he didn't gloat it by becoming the biggest flower in the whole field. He just stood out where he was. And everything else was boring around him, but he stood out. He caught my attention. And I admired him for that. And at the end of the day, it's just a flower, but you're much more than that. A flower or even an ant. We're made for more. We have so much more within us. I'm kind of just yapping at this point. I couldn't think of what video to make, but then I found this flower, so here we go, I guess. Thank you for your time.